We are in Georgetown, Texas, at the Innerspace Cavern. Brought the boys and my wife today, and we're gonna go see what this place has in store for us. Another great adventure today. Watch your head. Hey babe, I'll get your pictures in here.
Alright guys, so before we continue on with our tour, we do have our first photo opportunity right here. Of course, you guys are more than welcome to take any photos you would like throughout the cave today, but if you are looking for a good holiday group photo, I do highly recommend taking one here. So is anyone interested in one today? No crickets? No. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you say no, I promise. No. We can take one. Do it. That's going to be the center right there.
Can you take your own picture?
They are.
They're not everywhere.
Oh, I see one right here.
Yep.
A bat, you can see it?
See it right there?
Alright guys,
You can see the bat. I want to see the bat. Is it the bat too? Is it? No. No.
Alright, so this right here is called soda straw balcony. We call it that because of all of these little things all along the ceiling, these little spiky things up here. These are called soda straws. We call them that because they are quite literally hollow like a straw. So if you were to break one off and stick it into your drink, you technically would be able to drink through one of these. Would taste a lot like a third-degree felony, though, so I do not recommend it. The way that these guys form is rainwater will hit the surface, and then that rainwater soaks down thugh the soil and picks up carbon dioxide on its way down. that then forms into a weak acid called carbonic acid, which is the same things as the bubbles in your soda. That carbonic acid will then hit this rock up here called Edwards limestone, and it dissolves into a mineral called calcite. So then that water will carry that calcite to the ceiling of our cave, deposit it over time, and eventually you're going to get a soda straw. Now someday they will get stopped up. When they do, the calcite ends up having to deposit on the outside. That is when you get a stalactite, like these back here, and then water will drip to the ground, deposit more of that calcite, and that's when you get stalagmites, like these down here. There's a big one right there. And then eventually these two are going to meet in the middle, and they will form a column just like this one right here. And then if you guys look back there where I'm shining my light at those colored lights, if you can't see it back there, you will see it as you walk by. But anytime you see those colored lights, it means in that direction. The cave is going to go back anywhere from 50 feet up to 1 mile. So we have a little under 5 miles of cave.
1 mile,
We are
that's
only
far.
going to see about half a mile of it. So anything that we don't get to see on this tour, it's all just going to be right behind those colored lights. I'm sure you guys saw when you bought your tickets, but we do have that wild cave tour where you get to go spelunking, crawling through the cave, 18-inch gaps, things like that. So this is kind of the very first crawl you would do on that tour. You crawl right here, and then you crawl all the way back there, and then by those lights is a little hole. You drop down through that hole about 4 or 5 feet, and then crawl back through an 18-inch gap for about 50 feet or so. Like I said, they can go back up to 1 mile, and we will see some of those bigger lights later on in the tour. Now we're going to head on this way, but around this corner is a steep and wet hill, so please make sure you guys watch your step on your way down.
People find all of this. Find one with that light on your head.
Guys, hurry up. Did you bring your flashlight?
I did.
What do you have with your flashlight?
Sitting right there. Look at me. All right, let's go, guys.
I hope we don't fall. Oh, that's no way you're going.
Look at this. Yeah. The adventure. Yeah, it goes back that far, but the adventure. It's called the Wild Tour. We're not doing it today, no. But they have one that you crawl and crawl out throughout the cave. We got to come back and do that. I think that's the one that said that the kids are to be ages 7 plus. Oh, you're good.
I better get moving, guys. Wait. Come on.
Come on.
What are you waiting for? Mom. Hey,
Quickly, we gotta run.
Dad, can I use your phone for a light? Can I use your phone for a light?
No, baby, come on, let's go. Wait.
Yeah. The water.
She's coming.
She better hurry.
Alright, anyone else behind you guys?
No, that's just us.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question about very hot in here. Anything else? You can shout it out if you know it.
There's no stalagmites.
Yes, there are no formations here. That is completely right. You see no soda straws, no stalactites, no stalagmites. That's because there's no water. It's a very, very dry room. Those formations must have water in order to grow. The reason it's so dry in here is because of this white rock up here. This is called dolomite or dolostone. And it's a very porous rock, so it's kind of like a sponge. So any water that gets near it, it just sucks up. And that's why you don't see any water on the ceiling, and you're not going to see any water at your feet. I'll ask you guys a second question. Has anyone felt any drips of water on you since you've been in here? A few people have? Cool, cool. If you haven't felt one yet, you might feel one later on. But those are called cave kisses, and they are worth 7 years of good luck, so make sure you guys keep track of them when you get them.
I thought you were going to say 7 years in prison.
That'd be a good joke, though.
Man, I will have fun in here then.
Yeah. Alright, guys. So, this room is called our breakdown room. We call it that because of this crack up here where all those flat, big rocks are. This is a fissure. It is part of the Balcones fault line, which runs all the way from Del Rio to Dallas, kind of runs along I-35, so all the way across Texas. About 20 to 25 million years ago, there was a big earthquake that opened up this crack and allowed a lot of that water and carbonic acid to come in here and essentially form this cave. So if it was not for this crack, we would not be on this tour, and this cave would simply just not exist. So we get these big white rocks along this side of the room. These are called breakdown rocks or breakdown boulders. They fell from the ceiling about 10 million years ago. These ones in this corner, though, you can see this one used to fit right up here. These fell, 4 or 5 weeks ago in a big collapse we had down here. So, I'm kidding. Let me say, I've had people leave my tour because of that joke. It is a joke, and nothing falls from the ceiling. Do not believe anything I say when I joke about stuff like that, please. The way that breakdown rocks work is this room needs to be filled with water. Water receded. Air couldn't support them, so they fall. It's very common in cave development. And then one last thing before we head on. We have this yellow rock up here. This is called flint. Same flint that Native Americans used to make their arrowheads. If you were to strike steel against it right now, it would spark. The reason that it's yellow is just because it's been oxidizing or it's been sitting in oxygen for thousands of years. If you were to crack it open, though, it would be that kind of bluish gray dark color that you're so used to seeing it as. Now we'll continue on this way, but there is a steep hill, so watch your step. It does end in a low ceiling, so please make sure you watch your head. What's happening, guys?
Big bowl. Low ceiling. Low ceiling. Watch your head. Watch your head too. I know. Down here.
Hey, y'all turn and look at me. Cool. Cool. Look at that. Cool, huh?
Okay, you gotta watch your head.
Gotta be careful, it's steep, Easton. They said it's steep. Or coming.
Oh, mud. What?
Can you see where it starts?
I think so.
Right here. Right here.
It's a test right here.
Right here. Dad, watch your head. Show him. Watch your head. No, you don't do that.
Here, we gotta go in a little bit more.
Dad, watch your head. Dad, watch your head.
Watch your head.
Dad, watch your head. That's all.
Alright, so a couple different things to look at in this room. First we have these columns right here. These are called our broomstick columns just because they are columns in like a broomstick. So these guys are also going to be the oldest and tallest columns in the entire cave system that we currently have. And then this right here, this is our kissing column, but it's really just a stalactite and a stalagmite that are very, very close together. Now our cave grows at about 1 cubic inch every 100 years. So that's just about the size of an ice cube. So we estimate that these two will meet each other in about 50 years. So if anyone ever feels like coming back in around 2070, you will be able to see a fully formed and developed column. Now we also like to call this room our ice cream parlor. Right here we have a big scoop of vanilla ice cream and some chocolate right over here. My personal favorite though is the Texas-sized ice cream sandwich. Do y'all know what flavor it is?
Vanilla.
Hey,
Rocky Road.
you see that? Those two things about to meet? Those two circles about to meet? She said in 50 years they'll meet. Imagine how long it took for those other ones.
Before we head on, we have this thin sheet hanging off the ceiling right up here. This is called a drapery. Now draperies form the same exact way as stalactites, except they form on a slanted ceiling. So if you could imagine holding a sponge in your hand, squeezing that sponge and having that water kind of run down your arm, that's how these guys kind of work. So that water will run down the slanted ceiling in the same track for so many years. Eventually you're going to get a thin sheet of calcite just like this. Now we are going to head on to our next room, but we do have to go through a place called Headache Alley, and it is called that for a reason, so please watch your head.
Your what? Here? Yeah, watch your headache here. A lot of watching. There's a lot of watching.
Hey, can you turn the flash on? Boys, come here.
Yeah,
Take our picture right here. Come here, boys. Look at Charlene. Come on. Come here. Let's take a picture.
Come on.
Boys, come here. Another picture. Ready?
Yeah.
Hold on, one more. Alright, ready? Here, one more, guys. Okay.
Now, we just gotta back to you.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, there you go, back to your head. That's watch your head on those.
I know.
Head, watch your head. Oh,
Stop.
watch your
I can. Babe, watch your head right here.
No, watch your head.
Third degree felony.
Go look at this. This corner one.
Look at this.
This is a big one now. This cool or what? This cool right here or what? Here or what?
Boys, come here. No, just stand right there. Take a picture.
What?
Look at her and smile. Look out, baby.
Alright guys, so this room is called the Discovery Room. This is the second largest room that we have down here. But it is called the Discovery Room because this was the very first room that humans actually ever entered and explored. So our cave was accidentally discovered back in 1963 by the Texas Highway Department. They were trying to build part of the overpass that connects I-35 to that same bridge that you saw as part of the highway when you pull up to the building. That overpass is very big and very heavy, so they had to make sure that the ground would be able to support it. So they drilled 23 holes into the ground, 8 of which hit our cave So they knew that they had hit some sort of space. So then they widened that hole to 2 feet in diameter, and they sent down their bravest and tiniest guy by the name of Jack Bingham, and they sent him down through 33 feet of solid rock, and then under 20 feet we can land it right here. Now from here on out to the rest of the fort, if you ever hear a little rumbling or a humming sound or like some distant thunder, that was going to be the sound of cars driving directly above you. So a lot of this case is right beneath the highway. This one actually runs parallel to it. So southbound towards Austin is that way, northbound towards Waco is this way, and the overpass crosses just about right here. Now we're going to walk right on over to this formation over here.
Come on, boys, let's go. Did you see that? Hey, did you hear that? What she said? Right here, the hole's right here. The hole that they came down to first seen this cave.
Alright, so this formation is our closest stone of time, and this is the oldest formation that we have down here. It's about 400,000 years old, and it is still growing to this day. Now we call this kind of formation a flow stone. We call it that because there's a crack up here. Water will come through that crack and flow down. When it does that, it ends up forming all these ridges that you see here. That's kind of how we're able to identify this as a flow stone. Now all this water, once it comes down, ends up in this little hole right here. This is called a brim pool. It's about 2 feet deep and it holds up to about 100 gallons of water. Right now, as you can see, it's about halfway full. When I was working last weekend, it was completely full and overflowing. Within about 5 or 6 days, Georgia will see it halfway. So it'll be about another week or two before it's empty. That's how it usually sits majority of the year. Now, believe it or not, all this water down here is safe to drink. It is 98% pure, which is a lot cleaner than water we drink on the surface. If you guys have ever had Topo Chico, it tastes exactly like Topo Chico without the fizz. It is just really, really, really strong mineral water. So if you were ever to get a kid kiss in your mouth, you wouldn't really have to worry about anything. We're going to keep on walking this way.
Okay.
And make sure you guys watch your step on the
Careful.
Alright, so in this room we're going to be taking a look at the ceiling up here. This is called our scallop ceiling mirror because these little patterns in the rock are called scallops. A lot of work I'd say it looks like upside down sand dunes or the top of a rainbow pie though. Every program might say something different though. Now the reason it looks like this is because this room is to be filled to the brim with water. And that water was sloshing around and ended up forming all these patterns that you see up here. And if you look back here in the corner, this is where a whirlpool was. There was water coming from this direction the cave. Now, a big way that a lot of people are down to this area of the cave is this big pile of dirt right here. So the entrance that we walk through is a man-made entrance. We blasted that open with dynamite back in 1966. But before that, there were 5 natural openings that were in the form of sinkholes, and this is one of them. This is the biggest and youngest sinkhole. It closed up about 14,000 years ago, and this thing is the size of an entire football field, so it stretches all the way across to the other side of the cave. When it was open though, if you guys can't feel it, there's 98% humidity down here. So there was a lot of vegetation or plants that would end up growing around the opening. A lot of animals would go and try and eat those plants. Sadly, they were not too smart and ended up 50-foot drop, which did not end super well for them. But because of that, we have found 44 different animals down here, 11 of which are from the Ice Age. Later on, we're going to pass a big animal wall that has some paintings of some of the animals we found down here. So I will make sure to point it out when you pass by. Now the next hill is very steep and very wet, so please make sure you guys watch your step on your way down.
I want to take one more picture with you.
Okay, we will.
Okay.
Let's find a cool place.
I think that's this, because I think that's another map. What's that? Look. See that light
Probably 6.
maybe. But I don't know. So you don't have to do it.
Slippery right here.
If you want to go a little back,
Careful, he said it was slip right there.
that's what I'll do the pole.
You can hold on to the pole.
Alright, just one quick little thing to look at right here. If you look up here in this formation, you will see these thin white lines. These are flood lines from a flood we had back in 1997. Now our cave floods from the bottom up, we get our water from the Edward Aquifer, which is about 100 feet below us right now. It is very unlikely our cave is ever going to flood to this extent again, because there are so many people moving to the Austin and San Antonio areas. Our aquifer levels are very low. So that's good for us here because it means our cave can't flood. Kind of bad for Central Texas. We don't really have a whole ton of water. So we're going to be walking through a place called Short Man's Revenge. So please make sure you guys watch your head.
Look down there. See if you see anything like
Hurry up the game. The game are nice. So I can see. Come on, dear. Go, go. Mama.
Yeah, it is.
Be careful, watch your step.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Come on, guys. Easton. Come on. They're leaving us. Let's go.
Right there.
It's moving. Yeah, because he's mad at you for shining a light ray on me.
I'm really trying to too.
There's a bat, babe.
What?
You see it? Come on, boys. That's us. We're here.
All our animal walls. Now we had to place this concrete wall here in order to retain that sinkhole. It was slowly spreading in this direction. This kind of helped hold it back. It is not very fun to look at a plain gray cement wall on the tour though. So we had an art professor come and paint some of the animals that we found down here. So if you look right here, this is the giant ground sloth. This little guy was about the size of an SUV truck.
Whoa.
His nails were so long, you can see down here, it actually had to end up walking on its knuckles. And then this right here is the Georgetown. They are related to the modern day armadillo. Big difference between the two though is that this guy's plates were fused, so it could not roll up into a ball like the armadillo can. And if you look at its tail right here, it did not stand up like this because it was too heavy. In reality, it would be dragging on the ground behind them, and this is kind of their fighting weapon, their defense mechanism. They would swing their bodies around, their tail would hit their opponent, and they were about the size of a smart car. And then this right here is the equus. They are life-size. They're just about a 3-foot tall horse. Common misconception is that the Spanish introduced the horse to North America. That is kind of false. We had horses here, they went extinct, and then the Spanish reintroduced them to North America. Although theirs were war horses, so theirs were a lot bigger and stronger than these guys. And then this right here is the black-tailed prairie dog, and they're actually still around today. Not too many evolutionary changes to this little guy. They're just not in this part of Central Texas anymore. We're going to move up this hill just a tad bit more.
I'm sorry to say words. I just like so excited to see a horse in here.
It's a little 3-foot tall horse, they said, like a miniature horse.
I can't wait to see one. I can't wait to see one in here.
But they don't have them. They're not. They used to live here a long time ago.
All right. This is the saber-toothed cat. Saber-toothed cat and saber-toothed tiger are commonly confused with one another. Saber-toothed cat was a lot smaller and faster. The saber-toothed tiger was going to be a lot bigger and stronger. We actually believe these guys were able to come down here safely. They were very agile, so they didn't simply just fall down the sinkhole. They might have come down here to raise their young. We're not 100% sure on that, though. We did find some of their fangs, though, and on average, they were about 3 to 4 inches long. This right here is the peccary. They are related to the modern-day boar or javelina, whatever you like to call them. We found most of these down here because they travel in herds. So the leader would fall in, and then the rest of them would fall in. So they were very smart creatures. We'll move up this hill just once more.
Follow the leader off the cliff. Yep, saber-toothed cat.
All right, and this is the camelot. They are related to the modern-day camel. Weren't too many evolutionary changes, but there were a few. We actually don't know if these guys had a hump or not, because humps are made out of cartilage, and cartilage does not fossilize the same way that bones do. So the art professor took some creative liberties and put one anyway. In reality, we really don't know if they had one or not. And then finally, we have the Columbian mammoth. This was the biggest animal that we found down here. Modern day African elephant only comes to about its shoulder. You guys can imagine how big these guys are. And we did find some of their tusks, and the biggest ones were about 16 feet long. So these guys are massive. We did not find any humans down here. This is just to show you just how big this guy is compared to an average human. Now at the top of this hill, on your left-hand side, you will find some of the fossils that we found down here. Feel free to take a look at those as we walk by. We'll start heading on this way.
I mean, it looks like it's kind of cracked. It's like cracked.
This is so close. I want to go get that one.
There's the saber-toothed cat.
That has the longest teeth in the land. This one person used to run up here, right?
You can't run.
Yeah.
Mine was a young one.
It's because it has the long hair.
Yep.
Right there.
What, baby?
Some persons used to run right there.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Did they even run too? Did they run?
I'm sure they did.
What's that? A hog?
Looks like a hop.
It looks like a pig. Yeah, that's
A
a hog.
pharaoh hog.
Yeah, that's a hog. Hog.
Like,
Hey, Dad, you know what we should have done? If Jeremy and Max and Julian was alive, and those hogs were alive, you know what we should have done?
What?
We should have came down there when all those animals
hey, look,
were there.
here's some of the bones and stuff they found down here.
They're really smart.
It looks like a rock though. Like, oh, it's a foot. Really? Yeah.
Oh,
Smarter than me.
so all these animals are dead?
Well, they're not alive. They're dead. They died a long time ago.
Show me. Show me how to take another picture.
Hey, right here in the middle of it. Let's go. Up here.
I'm thinking,
We can't get left behind. I'm getting in trouble.
Alright guys, so this is the Inner Cathedral. This is the biggest room that we have in the entire cave system. If you guys take a look down here, this is an abandoned excavation site or dig site. Back in the 1960s, we had University of Texas professors and their students come down here to try and find some of the fossils we have been finding throughout the cave. But they stopped digging for two main reasons. Main reason being that because it is so humid down here, a lot of these bones did not completely fossilize. So when they would pick them up or dig them up, they ended up just falling apart and disintegrating like sander does, which is not good because we were trying to preserve them. Second reason was just because we kept finding the same 44 animals over and over again, so they tucked it up. But they did leave some fossils for us to look at. So right here, this is a baby mammoth leg bone, kind of in two different pieces right there. And then we have 3 rib bones. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then all of these white bits scattered throughout the dirt are also going to be bone fragments. And then we'll take a look at this big ladder coming out of this building right here. This was a maintenance ladder used back when we were bringing down cement, rocks, electricity, a lot of the man-made stuff you see down here now. It wasn't extremely practical to have those construction workers to carry that equipment from the entrance back here. This made it a little bit easier on them. It is not safe to climb up anymore though, because it is not attached to the ground. So if you were going to try to climb this thing, you would swing 2 feet in any direction. It's not very safe. Us tour guides used to be able to go up here and push the ladder to show you that it swings, but then a tour guide had a nest of scorpions fall on top of them. So now we don't do that anymore. You're just going to have to take my word for it that it will swing back and forth. Yes, it is open to the surface. You can see some of that light down there and at the top. Because of that, we do end up getting critters down here sometimes. So like I said, every now and then you might get a scorpion. You also might see a mountain frog or a snake though on a rare occasion. So we're going to head on to our next room.
I think that's bad.
Maybe so.
I
Yeah.
think that's bad.
Hey, let me just get Charlene real quick. Alright, Ethan, let me just get Charlene.
Keep walking this way. It is a dead end, so you will know when to stop. Make sure you watch your head and watch your step.
Are they good?
How much minutes do we have to get to? What's that? What's that feel? Hey.
That was water.
Now what do you have?
Why?
Because I don't want no water on my hand. Okay. Thanks. No, I don't really like that. I need so good. That's one of my favorites.
Let me get another picture of you. Babe. Babe. Yes, we are the last ones. Yep.
Can we get out?
Yes, we can do that.
Then how we're lost.
We're not lost.
So, I'll be looking at how do you do this? On this schedule, I am going to have you, I will have you, do mornings on the way out and walk on the way out.
Alright guys, so this room is called Imagination Station. We call it that because there are some cool things you can see in the formations in here. So if you guys would like to see that, I'll have everyone step up to this railing right over here. Alright, so if you guys look right here, this is a mermaid riding her dolphin. And then right over here is a great white shark. But he does not want to eat the mermaid, he just wants his corn dog. Now because there's a big shark, we need a big boat. So here we have the Titanic, complete with Jack and Rose. And then right here we have the Great Sphinx of Egypt.
I can see it with that.
And then here's a big battleship coming to save everyone from the Titanic, with Grandma on her motorcycle taking the front. And if you guys look up here, remember when I talked about draperies? We also like to call draperies our cave bacon. So here's a good slice of bacon right up here. And then these are our cave bacon butterflies. And if you guys can look all the way in the back of that room, kind of at that brownish wall back there, that is the other end of the sinkhole that we saw earlier. So we've actually walked around an entire football field, if not more. I'll scoop past you guys. Excuse me. All right, and we're going to head on to our final room of the tour. If you will follow us this way.
Can we get y'all's picture right there?
We're going to the cave. We're going to the cave now. We're going to the cave.
We're already in the cave.
Then are we leaving now?
I think. Here, hold on. Turn the flash on. Can you get a picture of me? Those boys. Come here, guys. Easton, come here, baby. Here, come here. Did you want to take another picture with me? Here. Can you hold this and face it the other way and get a picture of me? Come here, guys.
Do you want me to take a picture of the four of you?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. I got it.
1 second. Thank you so much.
Come on, guys.
Can I see the picture, Dad?
Everybody face it. Take another one.
Hold on, it's a little blurry.
Okay.
She was taking another one, yeah. Just in case.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I don't know, it keeps on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It looked blurry the first one, I don't know why. It wouldn't open.
This is the last of us.
No, you're good.
Celine? 7 years.
7 years?
Boys. Boys. Oh, you can go up there and look. That's fine.
Huh?
The popcorn, the formation that they call it popcorn.
Oh, popcorn formation.
Let me go. Show me.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. I was telling you, I was saying before. And
Yeah, the popcorn.
in my car.
Yeah. One of the hidden passages. This tour, not so much. I try to keep an eye out.
All right.
All right, guys. So this is our last room on the tour. It is also our deepest. We're about 70 feet beneath solid rock right now. Cool thing about this room is you can experience total darkness. Is everyone okay with that? Yes? All right. So if y'all want to take a seat anywhere around this man-made ledge, all around the room, if you choose to stand, make sure your feet stay firmly planted to the ground.
Just stand. Let me get up against this row. Boys, it's supposed to get really, really dark, okay? Okay? Stand right here by me.
If you want, you can close your eyes. It helps. All right, so couple of general rules for total darkness. Kind of a no-brainer. Please don't walk around in the dark because it is dark and you can't see anything. People have tried it and they have fallen, so please don't repeat their mistakes. Rule number 2 goes for my younger kids. Please no screaming in the dark. It is not only terrifying for your parents, but it is terrifying for every single person in this room. So if someone screams, lights are coming right back on. And rule number 3, make sure all lights are turned off. Phones, watches, flashlights, light up tubes, anything that glows, because no matter what it is, if it emits light, you are going to be able to see it in this amount of darkness. All right, and the lights will be going off in 3, 2, 1.
That's cool.
Oh, all right, if you guys will follow us this way, please nod your head and watch your step.
I'm going to go. That's happening now. All right.
I'm gonna be really sore tonight. Just wow. He's thinking about other people.
Max, come on, baby. Quit rubbing your hands together and why don't we walk? Where's Easton? There he is.
What did you say, Daddy?
All right, I'll have you guys walk up here. Just kind of hang out in this area right over here.
No.
This way, this way.
There's a block.
Here's your picture you wanted. Oh, it's gonna be crowded. Everybody's gonna come up to it.
Think so? Yeah. Let's see what she has to say. That would be a good guess.
Say cheese, babe. Having fun? Yeah. Max, what do you think about it? Is it cool? Easton, you like it?
Yeah, I want to hold it.
You want to hold the camera? Here, hold it and face it that way. Look.
And can I hold it myself?
No, you can't hold it by yourself. You want to hold it, Easton? Okay, Max, I'll go. All right. So right now we're waiting for the other tour to pass us because I think they took a little slow, or we held the line up getting pictures and stuff. I should say Charlene held the line up taking pictures.
All right, guys, we're making our way out of
Okay. Give me your phone. Get up to this thing real quick. All right, babe. Go. Easton, move. Easton, come here. Come here. Over here. All right, y'all get out of the way. Move, guys. Come on. What did I just say? Move.
Max's back was in the way.
All right, get up there with her.
Max's back was in the way.
All right, let's go. Come on, they're waiting on us. Dadgummit.
Careful, guys. Laney is known to lose track of.
That's Walker, but I'm faster. We're gonna see that bat again that you saw. Hey, I think that's a bat. Dad, look up there and see if that's a bat.
That's not a bat.
The last one. The one in Puerto Rico is on the third.
Lo que pasa es que se lo apagaron. Y tuvimos que bajar. Bueno, sí, tuvimos cosas.
Look, it's a bat.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What did you say? You can't shine a light on them?
You can't put a flash or a light directly over that.
Poop.
Yes, there's now. You can't do it willingly. You have to go when it comes. Yeah, you gotta watch your play now. Don't say, Daddy! Watch your head! Watch your head!
Yeah. I have plenty on. Easton, Max, stop. No, it's just us.
You're slow. I need to catch you.
Shh. Yeah, see it. Yeah. Hey, she cannot, she's, just what?
Hey, did you get some cool pictures of me?
Por aquí hay mucho, todo eso. Ahí va a caer esta, ahí va a caer esta. ¡Ay! Me cayó una aquí. Sí, va a caer ahorita mismo, va a caer, va a caer. Después. Ahí no puedo ver aquí, al frente. Aquí, Ana, mira aquí. Aquí. You want to wait or you want to walk a little bit forward? Maybe. Está a punto de caer. Ay, se cayó.
And this is a different tour. Your group is further
Oh,
down.
okay. Yep.
If you're looking for ladies,
Yeah.
they're down the hall. Low ceiling here, don't jump.
Where's Easton?
They're harder there.
Stay with me.
Oh, I didn't know you were that far. So some of these ladies, they were walking. All we have is that's all we have ahead of
Cowboys.
Okay, why?
There's a different tour coming.
Low ceiling. Looks like some more people came.
Yeah. Just keep over here. Over here.
Oh, that's scary. Oh, pretty. I'm picking up with you. Alright?
Y'all, if I can't see you, you can't see me. And if you can't see me, I can't see you. So you got to stay where we can see each other, okay?
I'm right behind you. Dad, I'm right behind you.
So what's up, group waiting?
Dad, I'm right behind you.
So we're just standing there with it.
No, you're good. It
Dad,
happens.
I'm right behind you.
I know, I see you.
Oh, there.
This is the last of us coming up.
Alright, there's more back there.
That's the last right there, right?
It's so easy to go down.
It's so hard to go up.
Alright guys, so this is the end of the tour. If you guys like the tour, my name is Lady. If you did not like the tour, my name is Amelia, so blame her. Now, one last low ceiling, so once again, watch your head. We start walking back up the hill. And there is a tour up here.
Totally felt that other great one.
Dude, I was just hanging out. I was like trying to get good, you know, photos and stuff. And the guy was like, "Hey, this isn't your tour." Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna picture.
No. Oh. You already took one, baby.
Yeah, all right.
Y'all go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What we can... I didn't hear you.
People like want to pull their mask off when they get down in there.
Yeah, it's too hot to have a mask on down there. It's freaking hot. It feels good.
This one is so good.
That's the end of the tour. Gotta put one foot in front of the other, babe.
I've got one fin in front of the other. I look like a duck.
Quack. Quack, 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 quack.
I'm the only one with the story of stitches in their
The
stomach.
sun came out a little bit, so I said stop raining.
It was fun though, and it wasn't that bad until the end. But I did get left behind like crazy every time.
You have a lot now.
A million. Wait. Look.
For me, what's the...
Hey, this is bad. Try Pikachu Peak.
We are at a practice yet.
My legs are hurting. My legs are hurting.
No, here. Here. And that is the Innerspace Caverns. Cool.
My jeans are wet. I gotta change them.